You were never just a person to me. You were my home. In a world that always felt loud and uncertain, you were the place where everything finally became quiet. When I spoke, you listened. When I doubted myself, you reminded me who I was. Loving you didn't feel like effort. It felt like breathing. Natural. Necessary. I built my days around your presence, my future around your promises, and my heart around the belief that we were unbreakable. We shared ordinary moments that felt extraordinary simply because they were ours. Late-night conversations that stretched into early mornings. Silent walks where words weren't needed. Dreams spoken softly, as if the world might steal them if we spoke too loudly. I trusted you with my fears, my insecurities, and the parts of myself I had never shown anyone else. You held them gently, or at least I thought you did. I gave you my loyalty without hesitation. I chose you in rooms where you weren't present. I defended you in conversations you never heard. I believed in us even on days when loving you meant sacrificing pieces of myself. I told myself that love required patience, understanding, and compromise, and I was willing to give all of it. You felt like my safe place, the one constant I could rely on when everything else shifted. I imagined a future shaped by shared mornings and familiar routines. A life where your presence would always feel like warmth after a long day. I thought we were building something real, something lasting. I never questioned your honesty because love had convinced me that doubt had no place between us. You were my heart, and I trusted you with it completely. What I didn't realize then was how fragile that trust truly was. I didn't see the small changes, the subtle distance, the moments when your eyes no longer searched for mine. I was too busy believing, too busy loving, too busy thinking that home could never disappear overnight. At that time, my world was full of hope, full of you. I didn't know that emptiness was already quietly waiting for me, just beyond the edges of my faith. The change didn't arrive suddenly. It crept in slowly, disguised as stress, distraction, and exhaustion. You smiled less. You listened differently. Conversations became shorter, your attention drifting elsewhere even when you were right beside me. I noticed, but I told myself that love meant understanding. I told myself not to overthink, not to question, not to doubt the person who had once felt like my safest truth. You started guarding parts of your life that were once open to me. Your words became careful, your explanations rehearsed. When I asked if something was wrong, you reassured me with familiar phrases, telling me everything was fine, telling me I was imagining things. I wanted to believe you. I needed to believe you. Because the alternative felt unbearable. I blamed myself instead. Maybe I wasn't enough. Maybe I had changed. Maybe love simply went through quiet phases. I adjusted myself to fit the distance you were creating. I became smaller, softer, more forgiving. I ignored the ache growing in my chest every time you chose silence over honesty. There were moments when the truth almost revealed itself. A hesitation before answering. A sudden defensiveness. A warmth in your voice that wasn't meant for me. But love made me blind. I convinced myself that trust meant ignoring fear. That loyalty meant staying quiet. That holding on was braver than asking difficult questions. Deep down, something felt wrong. My heart sensed what my mind refused to accept. Yet I stayed, holding on to memories of who you used to be, believing that version of you would return if I loved you hard enough. I didn't realize that while I was fighting for us, you were already stepping away. The cracks were there, spreading silently. I just didn't understand that once trust begins to fracture, love alone cannot hold it together. The truth didn't come gently. It arrived without warning, stripping away every illusion I had clung to. I remember the stillness of that moment, how the world seemed to pause as the realization settled in. You had given parts of yourself to someone else, parts one believed were only mine. It wasn't just betrayal, it was erasure. I didn't cry at first. I couldn't. My mind refused to accept what my heart already knew. I replayed every memory, every promise, every moment I had defended you. I searched for explanations that didn't exist. You spoke, but your words felt hollow, disconnected from the person I thought I knew. What hurt most wasn't just the infidelity. It was the ease with which you had lied. The way you had looked at me while hiding the truth. The way you let me believe in something that no longer existed. In that moment, you weren't just leaving the relationship. You were dismantling my sense of reality. I felt foolish for trusting you so completely. Angry for ignoring my instincts. Broken for loving someone who could hurt me so deeply. The home I thought I had built collapsed instantly, leaving nothing but silence behind. I realized then that love without honesty is an empty promise. And the person I had given everything to was no longer standing beside me. Now, the emptiness lingers. Not loud, not dramatic, just constant. It follows me into quiet moments, into memories that still carry your name. I move forward, but something inside me feels unfinished, like a story that ended without closure. I'm learning that healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means accepting that what I felt was real, even if what you gave wasn't. I remind myself that loving deeply was never my weakness. Trusting wasn't a mistake. The betrayal was never a reflection of my worth. Some days are harder than others. Some days I miss the person I thought you were. But slowly, I'm rebuilding a sense of self that doesn't depend on someone else's honesty. I'm learning to become my own home. You were my heart, my everything. And losing you left me empty. But emptiness, I'm realizing, is not the end. It's the space where something stronger can eventually grow.